Something big just happened in Heartland, and it's the kind of twist that fans will be talking about for weeks. Episode 3 left us with emotions running high, relationships being tested, and the sense that something even more intense is on the way in Episode 4. It's not just another episode. It feels like the calm before a storm that could change the entire season's direction. Episode 3 of Heartland Season 19 opens with a feeling of quiet tension. You can sense that every character is carrying something heavy beneath the surface. Amy, as always, is at the heart of it all, balancing her work with horses while trying to stay strong for her family. There's a quiet strength in her, but also a loneliness that's becoming more visible. Her bond with the horses continues to mirror her own emotional journey. In one moment, she's calm and focused, helping a frightened horse regain trust. In the next, her eyes reveal her own doubts about where life is heading after all the changes the family has gone through. Meanwhile, Jack brings that familiar steady wisdom we all love him for. He's trying to hold everyone together, offering advice that sounds simple but always hits deep. There's a beautiful moment where he talks about how healing isn't about forgetting. It's about learning to move forward even when the past still hurts. That single line feels like it sums up the theme of this entire season. Heartland has always been about family, resilience, and connection, but in this episode, you can feel the weight of time, how things and people change, and how the bonds between them are tested again and again. Lou, on the other hand, is caught between her responsibilities and her heart. Her life seems like it's in constant motion, the demands of work, her position in the community, and the expectations of being someone others rely on. Yet, Episode 3 quietly shows us that even strong people have breaking points. There's a scene where she sits alone, reflecting on the choices she's made, and it feels painfully real. It reminds viewers that success often comes with sacrifice, and that even in a family as close as the Bartlett-Flemings, everyone has their own battles to fight. The pace of this episode is slower, but it's intentional. Every glance, every silence, every pause between words adds to the emotional build-up. You can feel that something is coming, a moment that will shake the character's world again. Georgie's absence is still felt, and even when she's not there, her presence lingers in conversations and emotions. It's like the family is trying to move forward, but the memories of the past keep pulling them back. And that's what makes this episode so powerful. It's not about big dramatic scenes, but about quiet moments that say everything without needing words. Heartland's charm has always been in its honesty, showing life as it really is, complicated, emotional, and full of small, meaningful victories. Episode 3 captures that perfectly. It reminds us why fans have stayed with this show for nearly 2 decades, because it doesn't just tell stories about horses or the ranch. It tells stories about people finding their way through love, loss, and change. As Episode 3 unfolds, the emotional depth grows even stronger. Every scene feels like it's leading us somewhere, even if we can't yet see where. Amy's story continues to be the heart of the episode, but this time, there's a different kind of energy around her, a quiet determination that feels both inspiring and heartbreaking. She's still helping horses heal, but you can sense that in every rescue, she's trying to heal herself too. There's a scene where she stands by a horse that's been mistreated and refuses to give up on it, even when others suggest it might be too late. That single act of kindness captures Amy's essence perfectly. She doesn't just fix things. She believes in second chances, no matter how broken something seems. That moment also feels like a reflection of her own life, a woman trying to rebuild her strength while helping others do the same. At the same time, Jack carries the emotional backbone of the episode. He's the steady voice of reason in a world that feels uncertain. But even he isn't immune to the weight of time. There's a subtle sadness in the way he looks at the ranch, as if he knows that every moment there is precious, that life moves on whether we're ready or not. His conversation with Amy about the meaning of legacy stands out. He reminds her that the ranch isn't just a piece of land. It's a story written by generations who've poured their hearts into it. That reminder hits Amy deeply and reminds the audience why Heartland feels so timeless. It's not about the property. It's about the people who make it home. Lou's storyline brings a different tone, one that deals more with the outside world and how it clashes with personal life. She's under pressure from her career and her family, trying to keep everything balanced. In episode 3, she faces tough decisions that challenge her sense of identity. One of the strongest scenes shows her torn between attending an important event for work or staying back to support her family during a tense moment. Her choice doesn't come easy, and that struggle shows how even strong, independent characters can feel trapped between responsibility and love. It's this realism that makes Heartland so relatable. No matter how far the characters come, they're still human, still figuring things out. Then there's Tim, bold, stubborn, and as unpredictable as ever. In this episode, his storyline adds both tension and warmth. He's trying to make amends for past mistakes, but he doesn't always go about it the right way. You can tell he wants to be better, especially for those around him, but his pride gets in the way. There's a touching scene between him and Jack where old wounds surface, and for a brief moment, you see how deep their history runs. The pain, the regret, but also the love that keeps them connected through all the years. It's that kind of writing, honest and layered, that keeps viewers emotionally invested in Heartland. What stands out most in this part of episode 3 is how the family interacts. Every character's emotions ripple through the others. When one person struggles, everyone feels it. There's a dinner scene that captures this perfectly. The silence says more than words could. The glances across the table reveal the unspoken worrying, the shared memories, and the quiet strength that holds them all together. It's a reminder that family isn't just about being present. It's about understanding each other, even when no one says anything. By the end of this part of the episode, the mood begins to shift. There's an undercurrent of anticipation, as if something big is about to happen. The camera lingers a little longer on Amy's thoughtful expression, Lou's quiet sigh, and Jack's distant gaze. These small moments build tension beautifully, not through loud arguments or shocking reveals, but through emotional silence that leaves viewers wondering what's coming next. It's that slow burn storytelling that Heartland has mastered, the kind that pulls you in deeper with each scene, making you feel like you're right there at the ranch, part of the family. Waiting for whatever tomorrow brings. The trailer for Heartland Season 19. Episode 4 opens with a tone that immediately feels different, heavier, more intense, and emotionally charged. From the very first few seconds, you can sense that something big is about to happen at Heartland Ranch. The sky is gray. The wind seems colder, and there's that quiet stillness that usually comes before a storm. Amy is seen standing near the paddock, watching one of the horses with a look that mixes worrying and determination. It's the kind of scene that tells you this episode won't just be about the horses. It's about inner battles, change, and facing fears that have been building for a long time. As the trailer continues, Amy's voice is heard in the background saying something about sometimes letting go is the hardest part. It's only one line, but it carries so much weight. Fans immediately started speculating online. What is Amy referring to? Is it about a horse she can't save? Or something deeper, like moving on emotionally? That single line sets the emotional tone for episode 4. It's a reminder that Heartland has never been about perfect endings. It's about the strength it takes to keep going. Even when your heart feels heavy. Then we get a glimpse of Jack. He's in the barn, talking to Tim, and his expression says it all: frustration, worrying, maybe even fear. The conversation seems tense, though the trailer doesn't reveal the full dialogue. Viewers have been quick to point out how this could be a turning point for their relationship. After all these years, both men have grown, but they still struggle with old patterns, pride, stubbornness, and that unspoken love that runs deep beneath their tough exteriors. There's a moment where Jack turns away from Tim, the light catching the lines on his face, and you can tell this scene is going to hit hard. It's not about anger. It's about two men trying to protect what they care about in very different ways. Lou's storyline seems to take a surprising direction too. In one quick shot, we see her standing outside a town meeting, her face tense and unreadable. A few frames later, she's sitting alone in her car, looking like she's trying to hold back tears. Whatever she's facing, it's clear that episode 4 will test her leadership and her strength. There's been talk that she might be forced to make a decision that could divide people she cares about, and that emotional pressure could be the start of something much bigger later in the season. The show has always balanced family drama with personal ambition, and this trailer makes it clear that Lou's story is about to take center stage again. But the most talked about part of the trailer, the one that sent fans into a frenzy, is a brief, emotional scene showing Amy riding across the open field. Her hair blowing in the wind, tears streaming down her face. The music swells, the camera pans wide, and you can feel her pain without a single word being spoken. It's one of those classic Heartland moments where emotion is carried through silence and scenery. The wide Alberta skies have always been a character of their own in the show. They mirror the emotions of the people beneath them. When Amy rides like that, you know she's not running away, she's trying to find her peace again. The trailer doesn't reveal much, but that's what makes it so powerful. Every shot feels carefully chosen, a glimpse of the ranch, a close-up of Amy's eyes, a distant view of Jack watching from the porch. It's storytelling through emotion, not words. There's also a quick moment where we see a new face, someone who might be a guest at the ranch or part of a new storyline. Their presence seems to bring tension, which hints that episode 4 might introduce a fresh conflict or opportunity that changes everything. By the end of the trailer, the tone shifts again, softer, but still filled with that underlying ache that Heartland does so well. Amy's voice returns, saying, "Sometimes you just have to trust that everything happens for a reason." Then the screen fades to black. That one line leaves a lasting impression. It feels like a message not just for the characters, but for the audience too. It's about faith, hope, and the belief that even when things fall apart, there's a purpose behind it all. Episode 4 looks ready to explore those themes in a deeper, more emotional way than ever before. From what the trailer suggests, it won't just be another week at the ranch. It'll be a test of loyalty, forgiveness, and courage. It's setting up something that could change the path of Season 19 entirely. Episode 4 feels like the turning point of Heartland Season 19, everything that has been quietly building in the first 3 episodes. The tension, the emotions, the unspoken fears is about to come to the surface. From the tone of the trailer and the emotional setup of episode 3, it's clear that this next chapter will test every character in new and personal ways. Nothing in Heartland ever happens without reason, and that's what makes this show so special. Every choice, every silence, every look across a dinner table has meaning. Episode 4 seems ready to remind fans that sometimes healing isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about learning to live with the cracks. Amy's journey is once again at the emotional center. For nearly 2 decades, we've watched her grow from a young girl learning about horses and grief into a woman who carries wisdom and strength. Yet, in episode 4, it looks like we'll see a side of Amy that's more vulnerable than we've seen in a long time. The trailer hints at her having to make a painful choice, one that challenges everything she believes in. Whether it's about letting go of a horse that can't be saved or confronting memories that still haunt her, this feels like a pivotal emotional moment. It's not just about her work. It's about her identity. Amy has always believed that she can help, that she can heal, that she can make things better. But episode 4 might force her to face the truth that sometimes love means stepping back, not holding on. That kind of emotional conflict is what gives Heartland its power. It's never about dramatic explosions, but about quiet heartbreak and the courage to keep moving. Jack's storyline is also expected to hit deep. He's been the anchor for the family since the very beginning. But episode 4 might be the moment when even Jack has to face his limits. There's something about the way he's shown in the trailer, that heavy look in his eyes, that quiet pause before speaking, that suggests he's wrestling with something big. Perhaps it's about the future of the ranch, or maybe it's more personal. Jack has always represented tradition, values, and the wisdom of age. but change is creeping in. The ranch is evolving, the family is growing, and life keeps demanding new choices. Episode 4 might show us Jack trying to balance holding onto the past while accepting that the next generation has to carve their own path. It's the kind of emotional struggle that resonates with everyone who's ever had to let go of something they love for the sake of those who come after. Lou's arc seems to move into emotional territory too. Her story in this episode might focus on what happens when doing the right thing doesn't feel right anymore. She's built her reputation as someone dependable, practical, and strong, but episode 4 could reveal the cost of that strength. There's a loneliness in her scenes that can't be ignored, a sense that she's surrounded by people but still feels distant. It wouldn't be surprising if this episode begins to peel back her walls, showing the woman beneath the politician and business leader. Lou's been through love, loss, and endless self-sacrifice. Episode 4 might finally give her a moment to breathe, to question if the life she's built still feels like her own. Tim's role could add the spark of conflict that shakes things up. He's a character who never stays still, emotionally or otherwise. The trailer shows glimpses of tension between him and Jack, and fans are already predicting that a major confrontation is coming. But beneath his pride and stubbornness, Tim has a good heart. In episode 4, we might see that side of him again, the man who's trying to make things right, even if he doesn't know how. The question is whether his past will catch up to him or if he'll finally find peace in the present. There's also a strong sense that episode 4 will introduce new beginnings. Maybe a new horse, a visitor to the ranch, or even a returning character who brings unexpected emotions back with them. The trailer teases small hints, a new face, a new problem, and perhaps a new friendship or bond that could change the season's course. Heartland has always been about connection between people, between animals, between generations. Episode 4 seems ready to deepen those bonds in a way that reminds fans why they fell in love with this show in the first place. What makes this upcoming episode so exciting is the balance between hope and heartbreak. The tone promises emotional moments, yes, but also healing ones. Heartland has never been about running from pain, it's about facing it together. Whether it's Amy confronting her fears, Jack accepting change, Lou rediscovering her purpose, or Tim learning to forgive himself, episode 4 is shaping up to be one of those episodes that sticks with viewers long after it ends. As the music fades and the trailer ends. One thing is certain, Heartland is not slowing down. Season 19 continues to prove that even after all these years, the show still knows how to reach straight into the heart. Episode 4 isn't just another chapter. It's a reminder of what makes Heartland timeless: family, love, and the belief that no matter how hard things get, there's always light waiting on the other side.